Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Rising Sign Astrology. So, today we're taking a deep look ahead at what 2026 has in store for you by Rising Sign. And to be honest, this isn't just another year ahead of transits, right? This is really one of those rare turning point years where the overall landscape of the entire year, but also decade beyond, is going to begin to shift, right? It's a year that is officially closing one long chapter and opening another. And it's going to bring a lot of clarity and new direction, but really this sense that we're finally stepping into this new version of life that we've been preparing for since 2020, but also got a brief taste of in the summer of 2025. So, for many, the past few years have felt like this very long process of inner reconstruction, right? For some, it's been reworking your identity, for others, your priorities, but for everyone, it's really been about what truly matters to you. And 2026 is really going to act as a bridge between this prior introspective period and this new outward cycle of progress that is coming, right? And it's going to be a time when the choices that you and me and all of us have been making, right, behind the scenes, are going to start to show final results in the outer world. Now, in the last few years, it's felt like we've been really clearing ground and laying new foundations. And I really think 2026 is when we're going to begin to build, right, with a much clearer sense of purpose. Now, a big part of why 2026 feels so defining is that several of the slower moving outer planets are going to be settling into brand new signs for good for the first time in decades, right? We're talking Pluto, Uranus, Saturn, Neptune, and, these planets move slowly for a reason. They represent change and evolution, but really generational change that lasts. And when they shift, the collective story shifts with them, right? And we all got a glimpse of these energies during 2025 briefly. But this year, 2026, those changes are really going to ripple not only through the collective, but through each and every rising sign in different ways. So while the themes might feel larger than life, the way they show up is going to be deeply personal for each of us. And like I said, many of us got a taste of these new energies during the summer of 2025, right? It's sort of like the universe gave us this trailer or preview of this main movie that's coming in 2026 that is about to begin. And in 2026, that preview is going to become reality. So these new cycles are going to start to expose themselves, but also stabilize. And we're going to begin to see the world around us, but also the world within us reorganize in response to that. And no, it's not always comfortable, but it is going to be incredibly important, not only for us personally, but also on a collective level. Now, in this yearly forecast, we're also going to explore the 4 eclipses that are happening in 2026, right? There are 2 solar, 2 lunar eclipses. And these are always powerful checkpoints throughout the year. Eclipses have a way of fast-tracking life changes, right? Sometimes through uncomfortable or even painful, but sometimes joyful external events. And they usually prompt internal awakenings, right? It's like a destiny shift. They act like this recalibration that pushes us all closer to the path that we're all meant to be on. So for each rising sign, we're going to look at where these eclipses are falling in your chart in 2026, which areas of life are getting lit up, and what types of beginnings, but also endings, are likely to unfold around those times. And then finally, we'll wrap by looking at the movement of the lunar nodes, right? The North Node, Rahu, or the South, and the South Node, Ketu, right? So this is going to continue to serve as a compass in our life. And about halfway through the year, the nodes are going to change houses. For each of us, obviously, just in different houses. And the nodes really do show us where growth is necessary, but also where release is necessary. And it is the period where it feels like fate is stepping in, where the universe is asking us to stretch into new roles or let go of old ones. And, it really is destiny taking us by the hand wherever these lunar nodes are transiting in our chart at a particular time. And every 18 months, they shift into new houses. And that's going to occur this year about halfway through. And when they do, they bring new storylines into focus. It's often subtle at first, but once you recognize the pattern, you'll see how the overall cycle is going to weave through your experience, tying together not only the people and places around you, but also the lessons that are going to define this particular chapter of your evolution in this particular house or part of your chart. So we'll get into that as well. So in this video, we're going to be walking through all of it, right? All of these new cycles, the eclipses, the nodal shifts that's coming up, and really how they all come together to tell your 2026 story. And my goal is to help you see not just what's happening, but also how you can work with this energy consciously, right? So you can move through the year aligned with purpose, rather than being caught off guard by change. And if you're someone who's been feeling that sort of quiet sense that life is about to move in a completely new direction, you're probably right. 2026 is truly that threshold moment. It's where these past years of lessons and healing begin to translate into movement and manifestation. So we are truly entering a brand new world. And with that said, let's look at what 2026 has in store for you by your particular zodiac sign. Let's jump in. My Leo rising. So 2026 is a very interesting year for you. It's going to be a year where life begins to push you into a lot of new territories, right? And they're going to expand your perspective, but also challenge you to grow beyond your comfort zone in many ways. And the year begins on January 26th, officially, when Neptune moves into your ninth house, right? And this is going to begin this long cycle that really influences your beliefs, your worldview, but also your sense of purpose in life. And you would have noticed glimpses of this energy during the summer of 2025, right? Where questions about meaning and faith and direction began to surface. And once Neptune settles here for good, it's going to invite you to explore new ways of thinking, new ways of learning, but also connecting with life beyond what is just familiar to you. So this is a time when inspiration and imagination can really expand your understanding of what is possible, right? And it's going to encourage you to view the world through a much more spiritual or even creative lens. And the ninth house governs higher learning and philosophy and travel as well. And Neptune's influence here can blur the line between your logic and your intuition in these areas. So you may be drawn to study subjects that nurture your inner life or explore new belief systems that speak to you at more of a heart level, right? But it's going to be very important to stay grounded with Neptune, because Neptune can also bring a lot of idealism, but also confusion, and, an ability to sort of lose touch with reality or practicality. So the challenge is going to be to balance this really great imagination and time of growth with discernment, right? And allow that inspiration to guide you without drifting into unrealistic expectations. But Saturn is going to help, right? Because Saturn also moves into your ninth house for good on February 13th, where it's going to begin this very focused and structured and purposeful period around learning, growth, and discipline, in terms of how you see the world. So you probably felt a preview of this energy during the summer of 2025, where there were probably questions about your goals, your beliefs, or just your long-term direction in life. And now with Saturn here until April of 2028, the focus shifts to building structure and your knowledge around philosophy and your life aspirations. And it's going to be a time to really take those things in your education, your worldview, and your spiritual beliefs a lot more seriously, right? And to ground them, right, Saturn, in a real world experience. You also have Uranus moving into your 11th house on April 25th. And it's going to begin this long phase of transformation in how you connect with others. And okay, well, that is the end of your 2026 yearly preview. If you would like to purchase the full breakdown, the instructions are in the description box below. And remember, each yearly sign analysis includes a very clear walkthrough of all the major 2026 planetary cycles that are most important for you by zodiac sign. It also includes a breakdown of all 4 eclipses throughout the year, how they're going to affect you by sign, and also a very personalized analysis of this new 18-month nodal shift occurring midway throughout the year. So you know exactly what's coming in 2026 and beyond, but also how to work with it. And you can purchase either a single sign forecast or grab the all signs bundle at a very reduced rate. And this includes forecasts for all 12 signs and is great for not only gifts, but also for following the transits of family, friends, people close to you to see how this larger process is going to unfold not only for you, but also for them. So the directions to purchase are in the description box below. You simply make your payment via PayPal to info@risingsignastrology.com. Then just email me at the same address. Tell me which one you purchased with the PayPal transaction ID. And you're gonna get your 2026 breakdown unlocked. So with that said, take care and good luck in 2026.